problem which we got was for an online store, Supergiant, having worldwide operations. It takes order and deliver across the globe and deals with all the major product categories: consumer, corporate, and home office. Now, the store wants to finalize the inventory management plan for the next 6 months. Hence, the objective of the analysis are to find out the most profitable market segment of the company, and for this segment, forecast the sales and the demand for the next 6 months, so that the revenue and the inventory may be managed accordingly. The analysis have been divided into four parts: data understanding, finding out the most profitable segment, forecasting sales and demand for each of the profitable segment, and then the last part of recommending of inventory for inventory management. So what we did was we started with data preparation, and then check for NA's values, and then check for duplicates, and I guess there was no duplicates found. And then we checked for format, and then we convert the order date to date format, date, month, and year. And then we derived the column, a derived column month related to the earliest order date for the segment under consideration. And the time series is based on this column because we wanted the time series on monthly basis. And then we performed exploratory data analysis to find the two profitable and consistent segments, which we found is to be APAC and EU consumer. And then we started building model using classical decor. So for model building, we started using by plotting the original time series, and we saw uh, the trend and the seasonality uh, was in additive in nature, because the trend was the seasonality was not increasing with trend, but it was additive in nature, that we can easily saw through the plot. Then we smoothened the time series using simple moving average technique, and then we fitted a trend line to smooth time series using linear regression. So then we divided the series into seasonality, local component, and uh, then and the trend. So after that, we predicted the original series using additive model with polynomial of degree 1, and it gave us map of 17.61. And this was for APAC consumer sales. So then we started to do it through AutoArima. So again, we uh, plotted the original time series, smoothened the time series using simple moving average, and fitted the trend line to smooth time series using linear regression, and then removed the predicted values from linear regression line in the time series to get a stationary time series. Then we modeled the stationary time series using AutoArima function, and finally we used AutoArima function on the original time series itself. So the results were better in classical decomposition, but for that we needed to check it through different things. Like first we tried linear model, then we tried polynomial model, and with polynomial model we tried with degree 2, degree 3, and uh, it was not increasing much. Actually, the map was increasing for polynomial 2 and 3, and it was lower for polynomial 1. So we selected that, and then we did again for APAC consumer sales. And again, for the classical decomposition, the map was lower, and so it was a better model than the AutoArima model. So finally, the conclusion was that the model which we were building, it was the classical decomposition method was better than AutoArima. But yeah, but the pros with auto arima is that you don't have to check multiple things. It's a pretty simple process. But for classical decomposition, you need to try few things, like I said earlier. So the conclusion was for that the top two profitable and consistent segments were APAC and EU. And then the for sales, additive model with polynomial of degree 1 is the best fit model. And for quantity, additive model with polynomial of degree 3 was the best fit model. And the MAPE value for sales was 17, and for quantity it was 15. So then the recommendations what we gave was like the sales and quantity for both APEC and EU consumer shows seasonal patterns. So global pattern needs to maintain lower inventory during off season and higher inventory during peak season. Also, global mart can introduce promotions offers to improve sales during off season. The time series trend for both sales and quantity is linearly increasing. In order to achieve exponential growth, global mart needs to introduce new breakthrough